Hello everyone, my name is Craig. Welcome back to You Got Nerfed, and this is a video review of the Nerf 2.0 Ace, basically the Nerf 2.0 Jolt. And yes, in case you do ask, I am back in this location right here instead of my usual location. Yes, let's get into an unboxing. Let's unbox this. Included is the blaster itself and two Nerf 2.0 darts. Quick overview of the blaster. Starting up at the front, there is no end strike barrel lug. This is a single shot blaster. To load, you just simply front load just like that. Capacity of this blaster is 1 dart. Not really else to mention there. Moving up top, this is a weird scope-ish type of thing, which is just weird to put on a blaster, but it can serve as temporary dart storage. I don't recommend keeping in a dart in there, but it serves a purpose more than trying to aim. So that's kind of weird. Moving back on here, there is another iron sight to help aim with this thing. Not really that much. Yeah, getting down to the trigger and the trigger guard. This is a wicked big open trigger guard. Yes, as opposed to something like a Jolt that is tight in there. I could probably stick 2 fingers in it. Ow, kind of cramped, but yeah. Shooting it like this kind of feels a little bit weird. If you have a bigger hands, you can probably get a good finger in there. And you don't have to hold like this weird old thingy in there. That's big and open. I kind of like that. Getting to the trigger itself, it's a little bit of a clicky trigger, which I kind of don't like. I mean, it's functional. Trigger pull is standard, but I just... there's better trigger designs that he could have done. It's not overly comfortable, but it's not bad either. So I'm not really sure. Right, moving down to the grip. If you call this a grip, there's practically no grip in here. I can fit 3 fingers on here, but that feels kind of cramped. And my pinky wants to naturally rest a bit lower than what it is. So unless you have 2 fingers in there with the trigger, I don't know how you're supposed to hold this. So there's a lack of a grip, and my pinky's going to get jammed by this priming handle pretty much all the time. Getting down to the T-style priming handle, that's how you prime the blaster and you're ready to shoot once. This is a standard weight for most blasters, and especially elite blasters at the time. Really nothing to complain about that. That's pretty much the overview of this. I'm going to explain a lot more in my opinion. Let's get into a firing demo. All right, starting out with some Nerf Elite 2.0 darts. Moving on to Dart Zone nipple head style darts. Now for some white Amosting darts. Get another one loaded here. Dang. Now some Screamer darts. And lastly, for comparison's sake, some old orange end strike darts. Analysis and conclusion of the Elite 2.0 Ace. And yes, I just moved locations to here. Fired fairly well. Fairly good chrono velocity out of pretty much every projectile that I fired, except for, of course, the old orange end strike darts and the screamer darts. I think that is to be expected. Those are older darts, so I kind of expected that out of it. Really things to really note about the performance of firing. One, I did not have any jams or malfunctions. If I have that with a single shot blaster, we've got issues. But I noticed that, and since I fired so many different projectiles out of it, I noticed that the accuracy of this blaster is terrible. It is very inaccurate. And I was able to, I know I only fired about 3 darts of each type through this blaster, but I was still able to try with that sample size and determine that it was the blaster that was inaccurate, not the type of darts, because even something like the white Mustang darts, which I really praised out of the triad, how accurate those things were, flew all over the place through this blaster, right? Everything had fairly good velocity. The Elite 2.0 darts, the Dart Zone darts, even the Mustang darts, some of the Screamer darts did as well, and it even fired fairly well those old orange end strike darts. Of course, don't use those darts. Get Elite darts if you absolutely have to. But it wasn't very accurate. Velocity is probably going to be in line with most other backups of the Elite 2.0 series and the Elite series. So anywhere between 59 and about 66 feet per second. I don't have a chronograph. This is going to be one that I'm going to have to chronograph. But that's about that chrono velocity. I was impressed with the chrono velocity of this. It was fairly decent. Now into my personal thoughts on this and to buy or not to buy. My personal thoughts on here is this is another little bit beefy package and another example of unnecessary packing. Unnecessary plastic, right? Looking at this package right here, a Jolt is a little bit slimmer and easily can be better concealed than this thing can, and it's mainly due to this. This is a freaking sight. I use it as dart storage because it sucks as a sight. But you could tear off that thing on here and maybe, cut it off, like with the hacksaw. Don't go, yeah, you're going to hurt not only this, but you're going to hurt your hand doing that. But you could probably slim down its profile a little bit. This thing is a little bit bulky this way within its thickness, and I don't know why they decided to do that, but they did. I like the space here in the trigger guard, but I think that's almost a little bit too much here. But yeah, they basically remade the Jolt when they didn't need to, right? The Jolt is out there, the Triad is out there. Why do we need to have Jolt reskins, right? I really don't get it, but it does what it's supposed to do. The other thing I'm really going to complain is this trigger. I personally don't like this trigger. It's fine, does what it wants to, but that clicky trigger doesn't scream reliable product to me. So that's pretty much all of that. That's really all that I have to complain about with the Nerf Elite 2.0 Ace here. My other real reasons would be go buy a Triad or a Jolt or something that will conceal a little bit better.
right? So to buy or not to buy, I would personally say do not buy, right? There's better options. I think Jolt will give you about the same thing, and has a slimmer package. It doesn't have these unnecessary packages really in here. But if for whatever reason you like the form factor of the Ace, that could probably work. But I personally wouldn't use this blaster. I would probably use a Triad to begin with. But yeah, there's better options out there. There's a lot better options, but especially in Elite 2.0 series. So I don't know if I really get this, but it is a very, very cheap blaster. This was about $3 from Target, and even Amazon sells for about the same price. Yes, I actually went to a store other than like Walmart or something, or even eBay, to buy some blasters. Yes, I bulk bought some blasters the other day. Yeah. About $3. It's pretty cheap. It's cheaper than a Jolt, and you'll get about, if not slightly better performance. But if you want to spend a little bit more money, like $3-4 more, buy a Triad. You'll have a capacity of 3, and you'll have about that 69 giggity feet per second of a chrono velocity, which is better than what this thing is going to give you. And you have capacity of 3 shots. Yes, it's way thicker than what even the Ace is, but it's definitely worth a buy because of just that blaster is awesome. This one is that weird in between a Jolt and a Triad that really didn't need to exist, right? They could have even re-released the Jolt and just put on the Elite 2.0 colors, and I would have been fine with that, right? Because it's a Jolt, right? Maybe for marketing, I probably would have hyped on that. So I guess something like this, I guess if you wanted to put in something like that staple in your series and say, hey, get Elite 2.0 as opposed to regular Elite, to give something new, but the exact same thing for a marketing perspective, maybe I could see that, but also I'd say why. I personally prefer the Jolt, just with the repainted as this, right? And a little bit updated performance. Make it shoot a little bit softer than the Triad, but boost that performance. That's how you could have put it in the Elite 2.0 series and made it fine, right? You can't just put the default Jolt and slap on 2.0 colors, even though that I just said that might have done that, but I thought about that there for a second, and that won't work, right? You got to update something about it to draw people in, but redoing this whole thing and making it a little bit worse is not the way to go, right? So let me know what you guys think of the Ace in the comments down below. I do now have channel links in the description below. I'm probably going to have to manually add those now, since I'm uploading from not a computer, but yeah, I do have channel links down in the description box below. Go check out my other channels. Yes, this is not my only channel on YouTube. And yeah, I'm going to see you guys in the next video.